talking about the Phightins here. The Phightins.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's going. It's gone. It is bedlam at the bank.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with KJ McCoy, Jesse Sharon, Dalt, and Fratty. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today. Let's take it to the show.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome on in to the Phillies post-game show. Whew. We can all take a sigh of relief. The Phillies hang on after being up 6-2. They win it 6-5. Jonathan Bolin has his first career MLB save. The offense clicks. The bullpen clicks to a certain extent. And they win game one of the series versus the St. Louis Cardinals. You absolutely love to see it. Painter had a great start. And to go through it all, I've got the usual Fratty. But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the 302 Birds Phillies family, Andrew. He's going to be helping us out with the Phillies and Sixers post-game shows coming up. But man, on behalf of everybody at 302 Birds, welcome on into the family, my man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, you guys have been awesome, welcoming, and yeah, it's been great so far, even though this is my first show. It was only right, my first name being Andrew, I had to go when Andrew Painter was going on, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. Give me a spiel on him, man. What do you did you like his stuff tonight?
I think I'm lagging a little bit here, but I think what I like most is you got to start with Painter, right? And because we would have been in deep trouble if he would have gotten in trouble, say, in the third inning or in the fourth inning, because we saw Rangel could eat up a couple outs, but he eventually got. And credit to him, he got through the eighth, even though it was 6-5. He kept us with the lead, but if Andrew Painter doesn't have the performance he had today, it would be we'd be in deep trouble. But now I feel like we're set up pretty well with Sanchez going tomorrow, Wheeler, if they can do what they do, you know, because our bullpen's not great. Everyone knows that, but at least let them have some rest, because if you're not great and not rested, it's a recipe for disaster.
Brady?
I'll say this. No, I took a nap during part of the game, but I watched most of the game. It was great outing by Andrew Painter. He's starting to find himself, and redeem himself. What's the name? Overall, good stuff from him. Very impressed, especially with our rotation, our back end rotation not being the best. I'm really surprised that him and Aaron Nola are actually pitching better as of late. That comes as a shock to me. It's a very good sign to see that those two guys pitching a little bit more cleaner and not allowing as many runs. And I think Andrew Painter, tell you what, this man, we make the postseason. This man can really help us big time in a bullpen if he pitches like this, especially in a playoff series, because our bullpen still needs a little bit of miracles in it. There's some weak links in that bullpen from right now. That's some very weak links still. But I think Andrew Painter, him being the fourth or fifth starter, honestly, I think you put him in the bullpen. You put him because to help out the bullpen because it really needs help. It really does need help. And I think it will provide a big boost and him pitching like this, especially coming off an injury not even a year ago, is huge. It's absolutely huge for this team. And I get it. The race is still tight. I think while at the moment, the last I checked while we were filming the show, I think at the current live moment, I think D-backs were up 7-0, and Padres were losing 2-1. Last I checked. So right as of right now, if those scores both hold, the Phillies will still be tied with the Diamondbacks for the last second and last wild card, and San Diego would be either 1 or 2 games behind us. So there's still a small margin of error, but the good thing is the Cardinals fall an extra game behind us. I think they're about 4.5 behind us now, which is a good thing. So that puts a little more distance if we can win the series against us in St. Louis, which is great. And the Cardinals pretty much fall under 500. By the way, I just looking at on MLB Network right now. Padres are still losing 2-1, top of the 7th, which is a good sign. Hopefully, the Brewers can hang on against them or Milwaukee fans tonight. And then if they, like I said, if San Diego loses, we'll be 2 games ahead of that. Us and Arizona will be 2 games ahead of them because I don't think Arizona's losing to Rockies. Rockies are trash, though. But anyway, focusing on the Phillies, that was a great win against those pesky Cardinals, Jordan Walker, those guys. Revenge kind of on Jordan Walker beating Kyle Schwarber. Now, granted that that we'll be going to be seeing a lot of the Cardinals this next week. Plus, of course, as you guys know, I'm going to the game next week to get the Schwarber bobblehead next Friday. But you just love to see it, and these are going to be exciting games against the Cardinals. It'll be very exciting games, especially the game I go to. Hopefully on the 21st is just as exciting, and Schwarber pops off in his own bobblehead game and hits a homer. But hopefully, we get to see a Schwarber in St. Louis in one of these next 2 games. But you just love to see it from this team. I mean, pull off a win, especially. We don't have to deal with extra innings. We didn't have to deal with extra innings for a 3rd game in a row. It's like an answered prayer. It's an absolute answered prayer for Jesse Sharon. The man doesn't deserve it. The man doesn't deserve to take another 3.5+ hour game. I mean, thankfully, these games have been so long. It just feels like the old days again with these 3-hour games. I'm so used to these games being under 3 hours almost every night, but lately it's been long. But with that being said, and who's this comment? Let's see. I just want to really. I go to Eagles trade. Oh, he's going to Eagles. Oh, nice. You're going to open practice the 25th. Nice. But anyway, focusing back on the Phillies. I'll tell you what. And by the way, it's a good thing, and a good thing that the Phillies did not get Matt Chapman, because I just heard that Matt Chapman's going to be out for a season with hernia. I just seen he's out for, I don't know, don't quote me on it, but I've seen something that says remainder of the season, something with his hernia. It might be a major surgery. So all that talk about getting Matt Chapman, good thing we didn't get him because he's hurt now. So.
Well, I mean, we're still stuck without Abow.
But we're still stuck with Abow. But still, at the end of the day, if we would have traded Bohm for him, we would have been out of third baseman. If you think about it, we would have been out a bona fide starter. But anyway, you just love.
What's one thing that stood out to me early, was their approach at the plate. I'm sick and tired of watching these first innings and, first pitch pop up. And then, by the end of the first inning, only 3 batters go, and the starting pitcher for the other team has 8 total pitches. And that's why I was when even though the only reason he was up there was because Trey wasn't playing, but when I saw Bryson Stott in the top 3, because what I love about Stott is bare minimum. He might not get a hit every time, but he's going to make the pitcher work. And that goes a long way. Cardinals, he had like 70 pitches through 4 or 5 innings. I forget what it was. And if they can keep doing that, everyone talks about, this team doesn't have enough, they often have bad at-bats. They can't run the bases, and they can't field. If they could field easy ground balls, run the bases a little better, and have better at-bats, they have the talent, if they stay healthy, I think, to still go on a run.
Yeah, I mean, I really like what I saw in the late innings. I mean, I know I have Bryce Harper on that, on the what do you call it, the lower third here, but the Cardinals score 2 in the 6th, and you're like, oh God, it's at this point it's 3-2. You're kind of panicking here because you don't know how long Painter's going to go. Like, you don't know. You don't know at that point with the bullpen. You don't know how that's going to go. You don't know if you're going to see freaking Tim Mesa for the 500 millionth time in the last week. But then the 8th inning rolls around, and they scored 2 runs, and those 2 runs ended up being the difference. The Phillies, to me, they've really struggled when they get knocked in the mouth offensively with the pitching. They get knocked in the mouth, and then the bats usually fall quiet, and they let these teams back into games. The Phillies tonight, they didn't really show that. And again, I know it's the Cardinals. The Cardinals are kind of mid, but I liked what the Phillies showed to me from a fighting perspective. That's why I called tonight's stream the Phightin Phils, because they had that fight in them, Andrew. And you got a good point there for sure. But yeah, let's move on to Jonathan Bolin, who you want to talk about another guy that has been absolutely outstanding for the Philadelphia Phillies bullpen. And in a time of crisis where the bullpen has been used a ton, Jonathan Bolin has been outstanding for this Phillies bullpen. He kind of reminds me, honestly, of a Jeff Hoffman. Remember when we signed Hoffman, he was a guy that really was kind of looked at an afterthought. It looked past the other way. And then Caleb Cotham comes in and he turns Hoffman into the beast he was. Jonathan Bolin, man, to me, he's becoming the next Jeff Hoffman, Andrew. Got anything? Please don't lag.
Yeah, I think I was just saying this. Can you hear me? I'm lagging a little bit.
Yeah. No, you're good.
You got me? I'm lagging
I think
a little
so,
bit on my end.
I think I got you.
You got me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I was saying this to one of my friends. If the Phillies go on a run, it's cutting out a little bit. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You're a little.
Not sure why this isn't loading.
You're a little bit glitchy, but I mean, it's a little glitchy. Maybe leave and come back if you can hear us.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, he's breaking up bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
John, while Andrew fixes his stuff, Friday, you think you can,
Yeah.
hit me with the anything Jonathan Bolin?
I think he's underdog story. I think He's what you call a good secondary closing option to go on Duran. If Duran is not well rested, he is the guy that can give Duran a night off for keeping in these situations every single night. Bolin is one of those guys that can be our secondary option at closer, and he's normally not in this role a lot, but him being in this role tonight, I'll tell you what, we at least have a secondary option at closer to rely on. And I know people say before is when we used to have closer by committee, but now we have a secondary option that we could use when Duran isn't available. So we have a guy we can trust in, like Bolin, an underdog, a young guy, an underdog story. Like it says, I have my shirt with Lane Johnson on the Eagles underdog shirt from from the Super Bowl in 2018. Um, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. The Phillies bullpen has gotten a lot of shade from me, but for some reason, these guys pull for. Even Ron Howell wasn't pitching bad, but you got to give it to Ron Howell from holding it in the eighth and not folding it, because a lot of these guys like Kirkering and all, they folded at the wrong times. So, and you can't fault Ron Howell because our bullpen is a lot of our bullpen wasn't available. And you got to give it for Ron Howell for hanging in there, even with 50-something pitches, coming back from the majors. He hasn't really pitched in the majors since I think over close to a month-ish, yeah. So he just came back up, and he didn't look too. He let out a few runs, but he didn't look too bad for the most part. His command might have been a little off, but you can't you can't fault the man. You can't fault him at all. He may not be the best bullpen arm we have, but he was trying there at the end. I'll tell you. Tell you what. And by the way, I think the Arizona Diamondbacks. Speaking of bullpen arms, Paul Sewell, is he bullpen arm?
Who?
Paul Sewell from Arizona, is he a bullpen guy?
Oh, Paul Sewell. Yeah. He's the D-backs closer.
He got designated for assignment, so maybe the Phillies decided to get him. Maybe the Phillies pick him up as an extra option, because we need extra options on this team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in this bullpen, just because it was questionable. So Paul Sewell, Philadelphia Phillies, if you hear me well, I know he may not be having a great season, but why not? Just why not pick him up as an extra option at this point? I mean, I know we have a lot of bullpen arms, but with this bullpen still being a little loopy, why not just pick him up at this point? Isn't there a waiver deadline still till the end of August where we can still pick him up if we wanted to?
I'm not.
I think we can. I believe we can still. If they DFA somebody, you can still pick somebody up. I think, but it has to be before the postseason. I think before the post playoffs. I believe before the end of September. Now, don't quote me on that, but I think.
So the waiver deadline is August 31st. So
yeah, we could pick him up before end of August, end of the month if we want to. But I have a feeling we're not going to get him. I think if he's having a bad year, you don't want a guy who's having a bad year on your team. But you can't. But it can't be any worse than what we have. So, but he must be having a horrible year then if he got DFA'd.
Yeah. All right, I see Andrew in the. We just had him. Man, we just had him.
Jesse, bad news. Padres just took the lead. 3-2, bottom 7.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I was about to introduce Andrew, and then he his computer must have glitched out again. But I'll give my take on Jonathan Bolin. He's been outstanding for the Philadelphia Phillies. And honestly, he's a guy that, to me, if a guy like Brooks Raley can get right, and he actually looked really solid the other day in the walk-off win, he could be a guy in October you set up to Raley in the 7th, Bolin in the 8th, Duran in the 9th. I kind of like the sound of that. Now, that's assuming that Brooks Raley is as advertised, and I think he will be. Now, this isn't going to be your setup every night, obviously, especially in a 5-6 game series. In the playoffs, Raley and Bolin isn't going to be, isn't going to be the go-to every night. So guys like Ryan Kirkring and let's say Tim Mazer are going to have to step up when needed, and I think Tim Mazer has earned that right. But I think that Jonathan Bolin could be a significant add to this Philly, a significant significant piece of this Phillies bullpen. All right, we're going to try to bring on Andrew back in. I think he is good. Andrew, can you hear us?
Yeah, it's still choppy. I'm trying to. It's definitely better. I just switched into a different room. I don't know why my Wi-Fi decided tonight to.
Yeah. Well, how about this?
You guys still hear me?
Yeah, you're pretty.
You're just a little glitchy, is all. Yeah, you're.
Yeah, because I'm gonna have to figure it out. I don't want to mess you guys up here. This is.
No, you're fine, man. But no, we.
If I could try and get it in, hopefully it doesn't lag real quick. Bolin?
Yeah, go ahead. I think you're
What
good.
was that? No, I was just gonna say Bolin has to be huge. Bolin has to be huge for us if we want to look back on this season in 10 years or something and say, remember when the Phillies went on that run? It's gonna have to be with Jonathan Bolin being a part of it, saying, wow, he gave up 1 or 2 runs the entire postseason, something like that, because we don't have many arms. But I do think he is a guy that when he's right, he looks really good, So, yeah, that's just my Bolin take.
Yeah, I got you. All right, yeah. I think we should probably end this on a high note before your Wi-Fi decides to go to shit again. But Andrew, you're welcome back anytime, my friend. Obviously, once you're a part of the team, you're always a part of the team. Phillies win 6-5. Win game 1 of the series. Andrew Painter, solid night. Bats have a solid night. And the Phillies have a solid night all around. Want to thank you all for watching. Andrew, where can people find your socials and stuff? Where can they find your, where can the people follow you?
Well, right now, so I used to actually have another social opposed from my personal one that was more sports related, and this was a while ago. I lost the password, all that. So now I actually just have my personal one. I'm going to be starting up one dedicated just for sports content, soon. So probably by the time I'm on next post game, I'll have, somewhere for people to follow.
Sweet. All right, fellas. Good night for the Phillies. Late one again, almost 12. So apologize for all you again. But Phillies win, and that is what matters. Want to thank TickPick for sponsoring tonight's stream. Want to thank Freddie and Andrew for hopping on. And I want to thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell so you can be notified next time we go live. Main show, 302 Birds main show, tomorrow night, around 8 o'clock. Then Philly Sports Pulse, hosted by yours truly, Thursday, about 7 o'clock. So be there, be square. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to TickPick for sponsoring tonight's stream again. And let's go.
The Vikings!
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today.